Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our fifth and final game between TSM and FlyQuest. This one determines who goes to the championship qualifier. It was TSM that won the first game. FlyQuest immediately punched back with the next two games, and then it's TSM with the most dominant game in the series by a mile in game number 4, and here we go into the one that decides it all.
Woo, and we're already past the spicy bands part. Rakan is out of there. Finally, in our game 5, we get to have a Rakan-less game, Flowers. Sett
TSM
is the one.
Learned. They have learned of their ways, the errors that I said the word wrong, whatever, we're not going to try to salvage that. Anyway, because Rakan was banned away, the other, I can't remember what they're called, but the other half-bird person that normally is banned in the previous games, the Sett, he's going to be locked in here for FlyQuest. So that's the first pick. The response from TSM, my friend, this looks awfully familiar. It's Aatrox and Aphelios.
Definitely a good foundation to build a team comp off of, because the Aatrox, while you can't brawl the Sett early for lane priority, you do have options later into the game. Because he's got the extra range with the Qs, actually, there are some players that do prefer Aatrox later when you have to split and when you're coming in for flanks. Sett, though, still amazing after all of the nerfs, still worthy of the first pick, and Solo has put a bunch of time in on the champion. I think that this is one where he has found really good flanks later into the game too, with his teleports, ulting key carries back into FlyQuest to get them here to playoffs and to this critical game 5. So definitely like the pickup there.
Okay, over on the side of FlyQuest, the response to the Aphelios is going to be Varus, picked up for WildTurtle. Plenty of damage potential in a team fight if he goes for the lethal tempo build that we see so frequently on Varus these days. And IgNar on the Thresh, another one of these hook-based champions, another big playmaker, and also a champ that can provide some protection there for the Varus.
I do really like Thresh because it's very versatile. That's one of the things that we saw IgNar showcasing with his Rakan, was multiple engages, but also the disengages, buying time with stopwatches. Thresh has a lot of options for creating plays. You mentioned the death sentence, the box for zoning, but the repositioning with Lantern is really key for Varus when you don't have something like a Tahm Kench to save you out of CC or something. A well-placed Dark Passage can help you avoid some of the flank opportunities that Broken Blade on Aatrox, for instance, will be looking for.
TSM has the first 3 pieces of the comp that they ran in the first 2 games, and now with the 6th pick of the draft completed, remember, for all our ESPN viewers, it's time for y'all to head to that commercial break, but we will be here and we will be rejoining you once the champion select has concluded and the game has begun. We'll see you here shortly. And now, back to that insider club that we were talking about with Kobbe earlier, the special behind-the-scenes sneak peek bonus content of the second half of the draft. We're going to move forward here. It's mid-lane bans from FlyQuest. It's Zoe and LeBlanc taken off the table, while 2 junglers banned out by TSM. It's the Jarvan and the Trundle.
Exactly. That's the mystery that we're going to solve first. Mystery of the junglers. Boy, I guess there's no more mystery. A boom. Sejuani works really well, of course, with the stun setup. Aatrox can hit a long Q to allow Sejuani to get into range. The autos from both of them being melees get to stack up her passive and can lock down even a Sett, allowing you to dodge away from the true damage, at least, of the Haymaker. So even though normally players are very cautious about ganking Sett early because you can get baited in, tower diving is very dangerous. His tanky champion can self-shield and has very good regeneration. That is a possible point of power. The Azir locked in again for PowerOfEvil, though. He was a DPS monster on this champion, looking to scale, and it's been blind picked for several weeks now in the LCK. FLICKR feeling confident to go back on it, so pretty much everybody else will follow.
Well, let's see if TSM want to go ahead and put Bjergsen there on the Zillion against it. In the previous game where they played this matchup, it didn't work out so great for them. Maybe they think with these compositions surrounding them, it'll work a little bit better. FlyQuest did pick up Olaf as well. to deal with the fact that their opponents have so much CC in the Nautilus and the Sejuani. You can just run through that. And the final pick of the draft, the final pick of the series, is a mid lane Ekko for Bjergsen.
That is some spice right there. That is a get in and kill 'em type of champion here. Really, really, really important though for some solo lane focus for TSM. Ekko works really well with Sejuani. I wonder if they're going to be able to get some ganks off on PowerOfEvil, because if you can get that lead for Bjergsen, Ekko's extremely good at roaming from the mid lane. And, you know, the attack speed nerfs that they threw at jungle Ekko did not hit mid lane Ekko nearly as hard. Still has that huge burst damage, still can go all in, try and go for those dive plays, and then R right back out.
And as Bjergsen's been the front runner for TSM Player of the Series for me, I'm glad they put him on a champion that carries directly. Yes, Zilean can carry by supporting the team, keeping everybody alive, facilitating engages, all these boring
you want to get your hands dirty, huh?
Modes. Yes, exactly. I want my montages. I want my all caps video titles, and Ekko's the kind of champion who can do it. If Bjergsen can pop off and carry this team, I'm sure that's exactly what TSM fans want to see. And at the same time, for FlyQuest fans, if PowerOfEvil can beat him on the supportive style mid laner and then beat him carry to carry, well, that's just all that sweeter.
All right, let's get on to it then. Game number 5, series deciding here. Who's going to move on in playoffs? FlyQuest have fought valiantly to get here, but TSM, such a quick game number 4, putting a stop to FlyQuest's momentum and forcing this game 5.
30 seconds until
This one, you said it best at the end of the last game. I hope this one is a close one. I hope we get another game similar to the first one, where it's just all the way down to the wire. You don't even know who's gonna win until the camera pans at the very end. That's the kind of League of Legends I want to see here. But let's see what we get, because TSM and FlyQuest have just been going back and forth the whole day. WildTurtle is running a lethal tempo on the Varus. Sometimes if you see the comment, it means they might be going for more of a lethality-based build. Considering he's going to have a lot of tanks to chew through, I'm very glad he's not doing that. Lethality build seems pretty bad against the comp here from TSM. And yeah, we're going to see an early jungle invade here coming out from FlyQuest as they punch down that enemy ward, and we'll see if they want to stick around.
All right, anytime you have Olaf, you're looking at early game invades. No difference here. Santorin and Solo move right in, steal away the red buff. Sejuani has to give all priority over to the Olaf. She will just get mauled if they meet up. However, you have to play the vision game, and they do have vision on the Olaf. They know that it is a red into Raptors counter jungle for Santorin, so that does open up the opportunity for Dardoch. He knows that there's going to be another 20 seconds before Santorin gets over to his own red side, if he even goes to cut him off.
Yeah, we'll see if he tries to steal away the enemy red there, but again, if Santorin makes a fast path towards it after grabbing his own blue, which Olaf does clear very, very quickly, again, Dardoch does not want to meet him anywhere in the jungle. All right, Santorin is going to stop off for the Wolves here, but as soon as he sees Dardoch walking over that ward, he decides to move away from them, now back onto the camp after realizing that Dardoch isn't going all the way into his jungle. Dardoch using the sweeper, able to see that that ward has been placed down, and he'll continue moving into the enemy jungle here. Now, as Santorin collapses, Dardoch will not have the chance to stick around and get everything that he wants here. He'll be immediately chased out, and Santorin will maintain control over the bottom side river.
Now, the next important thing is which bottom lane can roam first, because they've got mid lane priority, they have jungle priority, but if the bottom lane here, Kobbe is pushing it into the turret, allows Biofrost and Kobbe to move up, that can turn the tides here. And Dardoch is so happy to trade time with the Olaf, but he's going in too quick.
This fight is going real bad early on for TSM. Dardoch already killed off. Santorin at 200 HP. He's got to fall back, but that was just free for FlyQuest.
Blunder. Big blunder right there. The mid lane priority was there for FlyQuest. PowerOfEvil can add the damage, and I think the confidence was there for Dardoch to move in because his duo lane was close, but IgNar just got sprayed, and they don't have mid lane priority. You could give them the benefit of the doubt if they didn't pop that plant and just spray IgNar and didn't know IgNar was right there, but Biofrost just hit the Scryer's Bloom, so that's a big blunder that will cost TSM dearly in a high, intense matchup.
Santorin looking to two-crab Dardoch, not only making sure that he's stealing away his camps, but stealing away all that neutral territory too. Has the assist money in his pocket, 10 CS up over his opponent. He can go back, shop up, grab that jungle item enchantment to make the smite that much more potent. Gets a control ward on his way back out. And Santorin is feeling good here in the jungle early on. Of course, Dardoch will be able to scale up into quite a big tank later on in the game, but not if the early game goes too far against him, and not against a champion like an Olaf that can really punish.
Exactly. There's never a point in the game where Sejuani is going to feel confident versus the Olaf. Right out of Champ Select, Olaf is like, all right, I got this.
Yup,
I'm Olaf. Champ Select. We're versus Sejuani. I got true damage. But with an early kill, okay, let's see what happens to Solo first. Mystery here.
Solo and Broken Blade into the 1v1. Nice flash coming out from Dardoch there to make sure that they can get that kill. He makes the mistake in the bottom side river, immediately makes up for it there on the top side, because Solo was slapping Broken Blade around in terms of farm, but Dardoch comes up and lends a helping hand.
Yeah, that's what Sett does. He definitely slaps, especially early on.
Whoa! Flash,
IgNar gets
there. IgNar with the flash with the hook, forcing Broken Blade's flash out in response.
Yeah, and that's one where you don't want to be caught sleeping or window shopping if you're looking at your shop or something a little bit lazy. You know, you can't counter flash that. So good to go for it for IgNar there. In the end, you know, worst of the worlds, he trades flash with the top laner and does even that summoner spell up for Solo. So it's not a incredibly devastating gank, but it's definitely a good move for Dardoch. And we were just talking about the matchup with Olaf. You cannot look to play with the Olaf or shadow him. You have to look to create stuff elsewhere on the map, and he does just that. In Champ Select, we were talking about the synergy of Sejuani with the solo laners, both of them being melee solo laners and stacking up those stuns. So definitely successful use there, but PowerOfEvil once again gets first push on the mid wave because he is Azir, has the extra range advantage on Ekko, who can only throw out the Qs and wait for the returns. And PowerOfEvil is able to support Santorin in the jungle advantage that he has to give them a Drake stacking possibility.
Yeah, even though Dardoch saw what was going on, he was able to see Santorin and PowerOfEvil attempting the Drake. There's no way for him to go up and contest that when he's the only man there. Santorin now into the enemy jungle here once more. He'll steal away the chicken camp first. Solo has also already positioned himself behind their opponents. Santorin is going to be jumped on here, loses a lot of HP, but the Emperor's Divide comes down. Solo coming in from the side. PowerOfEvil low on mana. Solo still here fighting on the front line. Broken Blade taken very low. The Haymaker not quite able to take him down. They're still chasing after Dardoch. The axes are flying and Dardoch is down. FlyQuest get the fight.
That was quite the bait from Santorin because FlyQuest are very well aware. They can see Bjergsen's positioning. They know, all right, they are coming to collapse on me, the Olaf here, on Raptors. However, he baits it. He knows he's got his ultimate. He can get right out of the stun. And Solo, flanking around on the Sett, gets the big showstopper to misposition Broken Blade and allow them to chase down kill there for FlyQuest. Just pushing on this early game, really working out for FlyQuest in Game 5.
FlyQuest having the good early game that Olaf players need to have. Warrior already completed, man. 56 to 32 CS in the jungle. 1-0-1 here for Santorin. Off to a phenomenal start on this champion, and that just means he can facilitate his laners moving forward. Azir and Sett are both frightening in the late game, so if this Olaf can help them get there, it'll mean a lot. It's a 4-man dive that's going to come out here in the bottom side from TSM. IgNar's the target at the start. WildTurtle also going to be taken down below half HP. Santorin has showed up, looking to grab the damage onto Biofrost and finish him off. Kobbe's going to eat some damage there from the turret, but over the wall comes PowerOfEvil. TSM have committed. They have killed both players they came for, but they lose 3 in the crossfire.
Call PowerOfEvil Mr. Clean. He's there for all the extra kills after the dirty dive. 3 now on Azir. This is reeks of desperation. All right, TSM, they start up the dive. They do eventually get the stun and subsequent kill onto Turtle, but Biofrost has taken so much damage, Santorin can chase him down. IgNar buys more time by hooking in Kobbe, getting the flash out of Kobbe, then PowerOfEvil finally sweeps in after the mid lane roam. He's able to arrive trailing Bjergsen, and you are feeding more money onto this late game carry. If Olaf was getting all of these early kills, you could say that maybe you can you can outplay it later, right? Because Olaf is a pretty linear champion, but Azir getting so many of these early kills is very bad news for TSM, and it is music to the FlyQuest fans' ears. They still remember the Azir from game number 3.
It was an hour ago. They better not be forgetting.
Hey man, you know, sometimes you get caught up in game 5, action-packed. How did we get here? What happened?
What are these FlyQuest fans doing if they're forgetting game number 3 already? All right, well, Santorin has the Rift Herald. TSM managed to grab that in game number 4, but FlyQuest have been controlling it for the rest of the series, and they will go back to that control here. Santorin will have 4 minutes to decide where he wants to drop that, meaning he should be able to get plate money no matter where he drops it, as long as he does remember to use it. As Solo walks forward, stops Dardoch from stealing away the red, and maintains control over the jungle. Santorin is 2 levels ahead of Dardoch in this jungle.
That feels good for Olaf.
Feels fantastic, man.
You can just walk anywhere. You can just walk anywhere on the map, and your team has priority. You can chase anyone down because you have the spammable slow, long range with the axes. You got the early jungle completion. Big power boost there from the warrior enchantment. Plenty of gold in inventory now. And you just get to walk mid lane. Boom, Shelly down, as you mentioned. Opens up the entire map. Now your fed Azir also gets to roam. 20 seconds left on the dragon, though, and FlyQuest still have 3 people topside. I wonder if TSM try to sneak this dragon.
I mean, I don't even think it's a sneak at that point. I feel like FlyQuest is just saying, okay, you can have it.
So here's my reasoning for calling it a sneak. Summoner's Rift belongs to FlyQuest now.
Okay.
Anything on the map that they're taking is a little bit of a sneaky move. They're like, all right, quick, while they're all topside, let's grab this dragon, because if the map is even, then they will not be able to get it. So it is kind of a blessing here for TSM to be able to snag away this Ocean Drake, and they won't necessarily have to worry as much about the mid-game dragons. They know that they can now give up a few without having to get to a very early soul. But you can also see FlyQuest's choice in the matter, right? They wanted the early gold. They've already got first tower, all these plates down, and TSM have only taken a total of 3 plates. So the early game money that FlyQuest can get from all the plates off mid, all the plates off top, first turret bonus on top of it, and the majority of it all going into the pockets of their hard carry mid laner PowerOfEvil is music to their ears. They're looking to finish this game as quick as TSM finished the last one.
It's almost a 5K lead, 12.5 minutes into the game. They are absolutely demolishing TSM in this early game. PowerOfEvil with the Nashor's Tooth. He's moving up to just make sure there's no contest towards these red buffs. Dardoch is being choked out of the jungle from minute 1. Solo's not afraid of Broken Blade down here in the bottom side either. Look at that CS difference, 115 to 88. Start doing the sit-ups, man. You're doing everything besides that. Just let them know. Nope. All right.
Yeah,
so
man.
just gonna
Yeah, you got to do body workouts now. We're all in self-quarantine, so.
Yeah, you gotta. This is just tips for how to keep yourself in good shape and maintain a good outlook and positive physical health during these trying times. As Broken Blade keeps farming up, He's going to have to. That's about all TSM can do, man. When you're 5,000 gold down 13 minutes in, you can't really go looking for any fights.
Yeah, so I'm saying you got to start stealing stuff off the map. What can we get now? All right. You wait till you see FlyQuest somewhere else, and you got I'm gonna steal something. We got to pick somebody, right? They've got a Nautilus ultimate. That's point and click. Plenty of CC with Sejuani as well. Problem is, they have to do it when FlyQuest aren't watching. Especially if PowerOfEvil has his eyes open. You know, there's teleport ready for him. On top side of the map, he's currently clearing. Maybe TSM can look to attack him rather than play somewhere else, since he does have teleport. If they had sent up Biofrost that just recalled, maybe bring several members with crowd control. It becomes very difficult, though, because it's a chain reaction. You lose all your outer towers, that means your map goes dark. You can't afford to get wards out because you have no defenses to fall back on with no outer turrets remaining. So it's a really difficult cascading effect to deal with for the side of TSM.
Now, Jat said that in game number 4, it was 5,500 gold. That was TSM's lead at 15.
Okay.
And that was twice as much as the previous 3 games put together. This game is over 6,000 gold lead with 10 seconds to go. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Best early game of the series goes to FlyQuest here in game number 5 with a 6,000 gold edge over TSM, built off the back of Santorin and PowerOfEvil, punishing Dardoch specifically, but also TSM as a whole. Very well played from these guys when it really counts.
And look at that. PowerOfEvil rushing into a death cap second on Azir as well. He is really going to be laying out the damage. He can solo push this top side even. Biofrost or IgNar doesn't have to even remain on the top side. Usually you think, okay, we'll have Thresh trail you so our Azir doesn't get attacked. He doesn't have to spend, too many cooldowns to get out. But they can just move on in, take down all these TSM wards, and set up for this dragon. 50 seconds left. Solo! There you go. Steal something on the map. TSM looking to attack him.
Solo trying to get himself away here. 1v3 is not very good odds, even for a tanky champion, and he will be taken down. Good job there from TSM, taking the opportunity to make one of the plays that they can afford to make. It means that they give away the Rift Herald, but there's really not a chance for them to contest that anyway if FlyQuest is all up there. They're doing exactly what you were talking about. The entirety of TSM has to take the Sejuani mentality now and make plays wherever their opponents aren't.
Yep. All right. Gonna whiff a Varus ultimate here real quick, so no more picks. Teleport used for the dragon, though, and Solo comes up in 3 seconds, so he can use his as well. FlyQuest will be able to get that one. But again, TSM have the reset, even though they know FlyQuest guaranteed get this dragon, trying to get something for themselves on the other side of the map. Bjergsen is split pushing top side with the Ekko. Trying to get some more damage on that tower. Got an extra minion wave for himself, and you do have to count your blessings at this point. And that pick onto Solo is certainly one of them for TSM.
Santorin soloing down this Drake by himself doesn't really have any difficulty doing so because he's so very strong here on this Olaf. Turtle and IgNar will walk over to make sure that they can take it down as swiftly as possible. That's 2 Drakes to the side of FlyQuest. As PowerOfEvil pushes up that bottom lane, he'll continue just farming up Solo. This champion is so incredibly powerful when given the opportunity to scale, and nothing has been able to even remotely impede that progress here in this game. Highest farm in the game, 3-0-1, 2 items fully completed, absolute monster on this Azir.
And usually you see one of 2 things, strategies to try and play into it. We talked about it. They're already fine with blind picking it, so there's no hard counters. But you can go 2 ways. Either super long range to try and poke at the Azir, because Azir does not have sustain. And there is no healing champion on the side of FlyQuest. TSM went the other route, though, and that is a more risky route, an all-in route, where you take multiple melee champions. Solo actually going to get dope again.
Solo is just the target of all the TSM animosity in the world. He uses the showstopper, but the chain CC comes down hard and heavy. And that means Solo will be taken out without being able to get a revenge kill here yet again. TSM, they get the kill, and they manage to take the turret down too. The trade, bottom lane tier 2 turret is gone. Santorin and PowerOfEvil working together to take that one out. Shelly summoned up. She's going to get another charge here onto the inhibitor turret. PowerOfEvil and Santorin needing a couple more auto attacks. And that kill onto Solo, that tier 1 turret, ends up being traded for the inhib turret of TSM.
And even though on paper it looks like a bad deal, you kind of have to take those for TSM. You have to attack the weak side of the map. They get a kill, they get the top outer turret. They're finding gold in a FlyQuest world, basically. So FlyQuest, well, they do get more, and they open up an exposed inhibitor on bottom side. TSM trying to do the best they can with what they've been given here towards the mid game. And we need to look forward for FlyQuest. Baron is about to arrive on Summoner's Rift, and with a bottom lane exposed inhibitor, this provides you with a strong way of trying to pull TSM apart and force one of the bigger, more game-breaking objectives to take, so that you kind of force TSM out of this guerrilla warfare tactics where they're just popping out of the jungle, attacking solo with 4 people, and then retreating to defend.
And the thing is about the Baron, when you have Azir and one Blade of the Ruined King user and another guy who's about to complete his Blade of the Ruined King, this FlyQuest squad can rush that objective down incredibly quickly if left unattended. Right now, they're not as concerned about that as they are with taking out the remaining tier 2 here on the map. PowerOfEvil will be the man in charge of this, sends the soldiers forward. Kobbe stepping up to clear the wave out with the Infernum. PowerOfEvil will get about half the turret there. He has his team waiting nearby in the jungle just in case TSM tries to make some sort of a play. Solo and Broken Blade will remain on the other end of the map, both level 12, both with teleport ready to fire.
And here comes our critical point of the game, the breaking point. If TSM can actually stall this with the Baron baits available for FlyQuest, if they can keep the map split like this, Broken Blade successfully trying to split push down here on bottom side for the time being, but he gets chunked.
Ooh, Showstopper works out nicely to bring Broken Blade back into the turret, but it's an immediate flash. As soon as he lands, he doesn't want anything to do with this situation. Santorin's coming around to try to help chase him down. Turtle shows up and throws out the chains of corruption, but now recognizes he's in a pretty bad spot. He uses Blade of the Ruined King to walk away without having to spend a summoner spell. Broken Blade misses both the Q knockup and the Infernal Chains, which means Turtle gets to walk out. TSM are not able to punish, and that is the tier 2 falling on the top side.
Yeah, I think some good jukes from Turtle there. As he saw in the river, the rest of TSM were coming down to try and get a pincer on him. So he was actually in a little bit of a difficult spot if he got hit by any one of those abilities. FlyQuest, though, during that time that they are seeing all of TSM head bottom, PowerOfEvil gets the secondary turret, and they do continue to increase the gold as Dragon number 3 sets up. And we are going to get our soul point very quickly here.
FlyQuest seeing if maybe there's a chance to just start a fight off with a 6,000 gold lead. You don't feel like you always need to be waiting. IgNar gets initiated on by Biofrost, who's going to be tanking a lot of damage there on the front line, and the Showstopper will do just that. It stops TSM in their tracks. Biofrost is killed. Broken Blade is coming around to make the flank, but he can't even get to the fight before they've already lost a man. Bjergsen in the back lines, trying to make a play now. Santorin goes into the stasis, the stopwatch keeping him safe, while the exhaust also made sure Bjergsen wasn't doing any real damage to anyone else. Broken Blade is still behind the pit. Solo and Santorin still marching forward. PowerOfEvil has decided to put it on his own shoulders to invade the enemy jungle, kill the enemy jungler, bring in the cavalry, take down Broken Blade, and he is annihilating TSM.
Oh, PowerOfEvil is a one step ahead of him, playing 4D chess here. While Bjergsen and Broken Blade are around the dragon and pull it out to start it up, he says, you don't have your jungler with you. You can't start this dragon. He goes to the source of the problem. He kills the smite, kills Dardoch, FlyQuest now. There's no chance of a smite steal, but maybe an ability or two.
Look at how fast that Baron is dropping. Secured by WildTurtle of all people. That was a little bit closer than it should have been. But all's well that ends well. FlyQuest take their Baron. They've got themselves on Soul Point. They've got nearly a 10,000 gold lead over their opponents, sitting around about 9K right now. Everything's coming up FlyQuest here in this 5th and final game to determine who goes to that championship qualifier.
And here they come. Baron-empowered recalls give them an instant reset. FlyQuest are very rich, and they are equipped to finish this game now. They can push bottom side, actually, even though Solo does not have teleports. Because bottom lane is exposed, he can just walk that minion wave up. They can go down mid, then rotate over, and have an easier route into TSM's base right now. PowerOfEvil, as long as they keep him safe, you know, watch the positioning. IgNar should be positioning to the side of those carries, Turtle and PowerOfEvil, giving him some space so that they can make use of the reposition from the Lantern. As long as they do that and they both don't get caught in a Sejuani into Ekko combination stun, FlyQuest should be able to use this Baron buff to finish off the inhibitors.
Inhibitor turret in mid lane has fallen. Solo's applying that pressure you were talking about in bottom. Inhibitor's already gone in mid. It's so easy for FlyQuest to just mow these things over. They don't seem too worried about TSM. They're still staying together, making sure the carries aren't exposed. There's no chance for TSM to find their initiation. Baron power play still around for another minute and 20, which means everybody from FlyQuest is going to go ahead, go back, shop, get their items, be ready to go, and now they're heading towards the top side of the map.
How far we have come for this FlyQuest team. What a bounce back this spring from last year. 2019 summer was a rough end for them, but picking up PowerOfEvil and IgNar has completely changed the way they play. Then adding Solo late into the split. I mean, these are some of the most impactful roster changes that we have seen from teams this year. And now they're poised to meet up with Evil Geniuses in the championship qualifying match. Baron buff empowered, only one inhibitor left, super minions already helping down both the other lanes. All they have to wait for is Solo to meet up with them. TSM looking for a counter move. They know they've got a few seconds before Solo could meet up. Maybe they could find a numbers advantage.
Over the wall goes the axe from Olaf, and that immediately shuts down the TSM playmakers. Biofrost now in trouble. The flash play, and Biofrost is done. It is a killing spree for Santorin. 3-0-4 here on the Olaf. 50 CS ahead of his opponent. FlyQuest in a 5v4. The inhibitor turret is the target. Dardoch's going in. He has no other choice. World Ender is on for Broken Blade, and Solo's into the back line. Dardoch is immediately destroyed, and FlyQuest have taken everything. The inhibitors are going. Bjergsen's going. He's just about gone. The exhaust makes it so he can barely move. The Nexus turrets will fall. TSM can do nothing but look on as FlyQuest put the finishing touches on this game, the finishing touches on this season, and the finishing touches on TSM. They will take themselves all the way to the championship qualifier, and they are that much closer to facing Cloud9 in the Spring Split Finals.
And that matchup between FlyQuest and EG is looking so exciting. With the way that these two teams are coming off of their previous series heading into this, you got to believe there's going to be so much revolving again around the mid lane. Jizuke versus PowerOfEvil is going to be more of the same.
And remember, we already got to see some EG versus FlyQuest to begin this. Both teams started off in the winner's bracket. It was EG that sent FlyQuest back down into these trenches where they had to fight through and earn their spot back here. So not only is this the last step before you get to that ultimate match, this is a revenge match. This is a grudge match. And based on the way FlyQuest played here today, I'm excited to see them go up against EG. The State Farm Analyst Desk will break down that victory for FlyQuest and look towards finals weekend after a quick commercial break here. So don't y'all go anywhere.
Welcome back to the State Farm Analyst Desk, where today our series went the distance. The full 5 games, but it was FlyQuest who would come out on top today over TSM, one of the perennial powerhouses of the LCS. A very good look for FlyQuest, now our most practiced team in the playoff picture. They have played more games in the postseason than any other squad.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
If they play the next one and it goes the distance, I think they might have played more playoff games than regular season games.
They can get there for sure. They can get there. They're doing their darndest. But it just, again, highlights kind of the journey that this squad has taken. And I think the impact of this 5th game falling in their favor, being knocked to the loser's bracket to begin with, and then to do battle and make their way back out, now being able to challenge EG in the future championship qualifier matchup. But let's go ahead and break down real quick this 5th game, because as TSM had a dominant game 4, FlyQuest ran it back with just as dominant a game 5.
Off the back of the Olaf pick as well, another early game jungler. Santorin stepping up huge this game. If we were going to give an MVP for this game, it would definitely be Santorin. He took over the early game, found a bunch of kills for his laners as well on the top side of the map, baited some red buff invades, held Dardoch down, who was one of the key contributors in game 4, and set his team up to just stomp this game completely.
He really did. The lanes were pushing and he was always invading, going for red buff into red buff. I don't think the Sejuani got the first 2 reds, might have even gotten the 3rd if she got lucky, but it's good that FlyQuest had that. I'm just still kind of sad for TSM that you saw such a good look on Dardoch on the Elise and not so good on the Jarvans, yet you still put him on the Jarvan and Sejuani duty. This is a mold that seems to continue to be on TSM. I want to get moved past this, but these junglers getting put on this.
Well, you know what, Crumbs? I got good news for you. You're not going to have to see another TSM game for a little while now, and they themselves have some time to figure out how they want to approach the summer split. But to hear more about their victory, the Tigress is standing by with FlyQuest support, IgNar.
Thank you so much, Dash. Happy to get some words from IgNar after the tremendous performance in many of these games. Now, first things first. FlyQuest has had great success with controlled late-game scaling picks like PoE's Azir in games 3 and 5. So how does that impact your gameplay as a proactive support you are to help get the team to that late-game position?
I think usually our team likes my engage. But usually engage champion is like really strong at like mid-late game. So I think our team is pretty like decent to play early game, like stable, make stable. So if I can just pick like late game engage champion, and then if you go just stable pick, then yeah, I can make super huge impact for the team. Yeah.
Well, and speaking of that engage and that impact, a lot of times with FlyQuest, we talk about the mid lane and jungle synergy. But throughout the series, you and Santorin were showing the power of things like the Trundle and the Rakan within conjunction of one another. So how much time do you spend on the synergy of that particular relationship between support and jungler for that initiation later on?
Oh, we didn't try to play like that. We just naturally play like that. So I don't think we tried to do it, but we just do it, just because like we knew like PoE need help. So we both knew like we should go mid like this. That's what we make to play like that, I think.
Well, if anything, that's an even better sign, not specifically trying for that play style, but it working out so well for you. Unfortunately, Game 4 did not quite go the way of FlyQuest. So what did you and the rest of the team do to try and make sure you broke that momentum of TSM going into Game 5, whether it be mentally speaking between games or even within the draft and gameplay itself?
We didn't talk about like how we play next game. We just say like early game was really unlucky and really boom. So if we just say like if we play like normal games, then we just win. Yeah. I just think we just say we are better players.
You're better players that are going against a team next that you have went against before in the playoffs in Evil Geniuses, but there's been a development for you all as well, using solo consistently in recent times. What are your expectations going into the matchup that stands between you and a finals performance?
Oh, what does that mean? Like, can you explain one more time?
Yeah, so basically, what are your expectations going against Evil Geniuses again? Because you've already faced off against them once, and now you're going to be doing so in your next series.
Against EG next game, I think we have really confidence against them again. I think last series was really, I think they played well, but we played kind of poorly compared to usually performance. So we just have confidence. Like, that's all I think.
Bring up that confidence for some victories. Best of luck to you and the rest of your team going into that series. But for now, FlyQuest are flying high, looking to join the clouds in the sky in a spring finals. One team standing between them at that. So let's send it back to the State Farm analyst desk for more breakdown on this series.
Thank you very much, the Tigress. I want to start where she left off. The idea that FlyQuest has one more team to get through before they can make it to the final stage against Cloud9. And that is a team that they have already succumbed to in a best of 5. And it was their first one, with one important note, the fact that Viper was played in part of that series before Solo was brought in, Jat.
And I also think that Game 4 of that series was incredibly close. It felt like the momentum before some of the delays we had during that series was going to move towards a FlyQuest victory, so I can see why IgNar is confident towards that one. And we were kind of talking during the game that it almost feels strange that FlyQuest would be in the final, but I think that is to give credit to how far they have come from our remembrance of what FlyQuest is like in the past. Like, it used to be a shock that they would be a top 4 team.
Right.
Now they're putting themselves in the conversation of, hey, are they second best? Are they going to be in the finals? Are they going to have a chance to win this whole thing? And they're 2 best of 5s away now.
Mark?
Yeah, I was gonna say even their FlyQuest roster last spring was decent. They were able to beat best of 5 and get into semifinals. So they've been kind of clawing at this upper echelon for a while now and trying to break in. And being able to take down EG is that last step to putting them into one of the elite teams in North America. And it's coming at a perfect time with their rebrand and all these things that they've been doing. So I'm really excited to see them rematch against EG next weekend.
Yeah, Mark, I want to come right back to you actually on that point, because we begun to kind of look at each of the players individually on FlyQuest and kind of mark different inflection points of their career. And for each of these guys, they've had, to some degree, a pretty decorated career, either making it to finals in certain regions in the past or even winning titles and making it to Worlds. But for most of them, it's been quite some time before they've been able to tout anything of significance.
Yeah, I mean, all these guys have long story careers, like you're saying. But, you know, sports in general, such a what have you done for me lately kind of ecosystem that everyone is looking at a lot of these players saying, yeah, you did all that stuff in the past. What have you done recently? And a finals appearance would do so much for a lot of these guys.
Without a doubt, yeah. FlyQuest, again, firing on what seems to be all cylinders. Jat, you called out that confidence from IgNar, and I think in a lot of ways, much deserved from him, deserved confidence coming out of that. Any final thoughts on this FlyQuest squad moving forward, and again, how they've surprised us moving into the top 3?
I think they should feel really hyped about beating TSM. TSM was a team that for most of the split, everyone was, no matter how many times they failed, still putting them in the conversation for second best. And FlyQuest was completely able to end that today. They mean, TSM, you are 4th, and we are better, and I think they proved that today.
Yeah, TSM did make them fight for it with the series extending all the way to 5 games, but at the end of the day, it was FlyQuest to come out on top. For those of you over on ESPN, we are going to say goodbye. I hope you enjoyed that full 5-game series with us. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next Saturday for the start of finals weekend. Good night. But gentlemen, coming back to us here, again, I think we have to talk about the excitement of that series and the people that were the biggest factors in it. We all know that it takes 5 people to win a series, but only one person can come away with the title of Player of the Series. And this time around, it will go to that man in the mid lane, the matchup that we spotlighted, PowerOfEvil versus Bjergsen, and PoE has done it again.
And the record is now in PoE's favor. So
Hey!
battle has been decided, and he has been phenomenal. Didn't actually get to show much more of his massive champion pool ocean, but his damage numbers were pretty amazing most of the time. Yeah, all right, game 5 and game 2 were low, but that's from the nature of the game itself. I think PoE has become one of my favorite mid laners to see, just because of how he started last year on CLG, being like, oh, we don't really know what can he offer. It didn't look that amazing here, and now we're like, whoa, this guy really mid lanes.
Yeah, when you talk imports, this was a guy who had a lot of expectation coming in. You talk about maybe that disappointing CLG stint, but this is a little bit more the PowerOfEvil we expected to see come across the pond, right, Mark?
Yeah, he's been so good. When we saw him at Worlds in 2018 and 2017, I believe, actually, and doing all the really impressive stuff with Misfits, we heard he was coming over to North America. We were all so excited, and he ended up getting, memed pretty hard for a while for some of the things that he said about, oh, I'd never go to North America, and then he went. And he said, oh, I'd only go for a chance at the championship, and then they look at the team that he joins. And he was getting, a lot of flack for all that kind of stuff, and quietly over the last 2 years, even on CLG a little bit, he helped lead them to one of their first good postseasons in a while. And now with FlyQuest doing it again on a new team. So he's become an anchor in the North American scene, kind of under the radar.
Yeah, talk about a redemption arc for him here in North America. And speaking of which, let's go ahead and take a look at the arc for the rest of the split with our bracket. Of course, with FlyQuest picking up that series win today, they'll move on to challenge Evil Geniuses in the championship qualifier best of 5. That takes place on Saturday and will be immediately followed by our championship bout on Sunday, April 19th. Cloud9 already there awaiting the winner of that FlyQuest Evil Geniuses matchup. So gents, let's continue to talk a little bit more Evil Geniuses FlyQuest, a matchup we've already had a preview of, but it's a different looking FlyQuest this time around.
Yeah, playing the lower bracket, you do get a lot of practice in really high stakes matches that some of these other upper bracket teams might not be getting. So this trip down the danger of elimination should actually favor FlyQuest pretty well, considering they do have new players like Solo that we learn from the TSM series can be exploited if the champions and circumstances are correct, and they can play a little bit more around that and shore that up. This is a really strong team.
Well, FlyQuest has gotten more practice, but Evil Geniuses has gotten more information with a plethora, of games to look at now to see what FlyQuest tendencies will be, even referencing some of those champion selects we saw today. What learnings could EG pick up from TSM's losses or EG's FlyQuest victories?
I think they're going to be a little bit faster to understand that IgNar is really good at Recon. I think that's an important thing. And I also am just really excited for the series. It's going to be tricky for both teams, but for EG, they put up a pretty good fight against C9, knocking them down, actually beating them. Now Cloud9 is 22-2 or something on the whole year.
Dismal record.
I think EG is like, they have these aspirations for winning the split, but they're going to have to refocus and say, no, FlyQuest is really worthy opposition, and they're going to have just such an amazing weekend to reach their eventual goal. So it's going to be fascinating to watch that championship qualifier match on Saturday.
Yeah, I, for one, am quite excited to see the rematch, in particular because of the changes that FlyQuest has made over the preceding weeks. Now, the championship qualifier is on Saturday, but the Spring Finals virtual tailgate gets started tomorrow, where we'll have a week of events filled with art, cosplay, and a 1v1 tournament on Wednesday, hosted by our own Aphelios May. You'll see Kinpatsu, Kirin21, and many, many more. So follow at LCS Official on Twitter so you can tailgate ahead of the finals from the comfort of your home. That's going to be a fun one. We are going to wrap things up here, but the discussion continues on the Bud Light League Lounge, going live at twitch.tv/BudLight. We hope to see you there. If this is the last I see of you, though, on behalf of myself, the casters, the entire remote broadcast crew, I want to thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next week for the championship qualifier. Wash your hands, stay healthy, stay safe, and good night.